Click the first link in the description for the best Askreddit content. Today I fucked up by bringing a grenade to first grade show and tell. Obviously this happened a long time ago. I went with my grandparents to air shows as a kid to see the Blue Angels fly around. I was very fascinated with all of the military stuff and the warplanes growing up since my grandfather used to work at an Air Force museum. At one of these air shows my grandpa bought a dud grenade with its core drilled out at a souvenir tent. Being the dumb giddy kid I wanted to show my friends immediately, so I threw it in my bag before school the next day and wanted to show everyone this neat thing I found at this cool air show I went to over the weekend. Unfortunately for 7-year-old me, having a last name towards the end of the alphabet, I was last to go, and by the time I was supposed to go up our bell rang for recess. I was bummed out, but whatever, I showed them at recess. Later that day when I got home and was unpacking my homework folders and stuff onto the dining room table, my mother looks over from the couch and watches her 7-year-old kid pull out a grenade from his Thomas the Tank Engine backpack. Needless to say, I had a very intense conversation with my mom and dad about how bad things could have turned out. My grandpa got his paperweight back along with an earful from my mother. Now, somehow, I'm a functioning adult, sans terrorism charges. Too long didn't read. Brought an air show souvenir to show and tell, and by dumb luck got away with it, getting an earful from my parents. I mean, back in the early 90s I brought my knife collection to second grade show and tell. No issue, teacher actually brought me a knife the following week and gave it to me, in school, to add to my collection. How tomes change. The tomes they are a changin'. In 8th grade in science class every student had a project on a different element. I got mercury. Brought a small jar of it to class and everyone was evacuated and poison control was called Lamau. Nice. I suppose that's why you do the research part first, before you plan your killer presentation. Though I wish you'd gotten helium. That presentation would have been awesome. Plot twist, someone had swapped the nade at the tent with a real functioning one and you became an active bomb threat. And then this becomes something belonging to r/no sleep. Dude. I brought a letter opener because it had a pretty handle. Hid things. One of my friends in middle school had to give a presentation on colonial blacksmiths, while dressed in character. He brought a hammer to school. The hammer was confiscated and he was sent for a talk with the principal. Now, in high school, kids carry around their pocket knives on their lanyards, and nobody says anything. Some boys brought their illegal butterfly knives to show off in the cafeteria and nothing happened to them either. Sometimes I really wonder. I'll still stuck on you being just skipped because your name was at the end of the alphabet. WTF, that's so unfair. It was probably a we'll pick this up tomorrow kind of situation. Today I fucked up by responding I love you when my BF said I want to FCK you. The misunderstood I love you post from earlier has encouraged me to tell my story. Not today, but over a decade ago with my then boyfriend of 3 months. We had recently made our relationship official and we were essentially living together. We stayed a few nights in a shared house with a few people we knew to work on a project together. Being a couple, we somehow received the only private bedroom. We were ecstatic, as we couldn't keep our hands off of each other and would get real privacy instead of sneak around quickies. So everyone is working different shifts, and the two of us are trying to be quiet with our extracurricular activity. We were making out, removing clothing and getting steamy. I was on top and he grabs me and says I love you in my ear. Well, I immediately swoon, and enthusiastically say, I love you, too. I couldn't believe it. What a guy. Well, Suddenly the biggest smile cracked across his face and he began to giggle. Now I'm feeling very confused, because surely this isn't the reaction I anticipated. He pulls me closer and once again whispers in my ear, "I want to fuck you." Guy was mortified. I wanted to die. To evaporate from the room. I have no way to leave this place and my mistake, and there's about a day I fucked up laughing man underneath me. He reassured me it was sweet and cute, and he's not worried despite my billions of apologies. Still had sex. 10/10. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend said, "I want to fuck you," to which I replied, "I love you." I wanted to evaporate. Not too bad of a fuck up. Our 10-year wedding anniversary hits in December. Edit, I should add my first organic I love you after this was nearly as embarrassing. A few weeks had passed and I was dropping him off. I just pulled over and he hopped out and was about to go when I said, "I love you." It caught me by surprise because I wasn't planning on saying it, not after last time. My face was a perfect O of surprise. He laughed, said, "I love you, too. I'll see you soon." Edit 2, whoa. My first award. Thank you so much, kind stranger. Edit 3, this was quite something to wake up to. I just want to follow up for those who feel like it's not a fuck up. It's not that bad now, but at the time I wanted to escape through the floor. We hadn't been together for very long and weren't at the point of I love yous. This was all compounded by the fact I had to stay at that house for more days regardless of my today I fucked up outcome. Thank you all for the awards, comments and votes. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I understand how this is a fuck up, but also this is really cute. I'm so happy that this story ended with 10 years together, heart. When telling a woman that you wanna fuck her, and she answers I love you, well that right there is a keeper, yes sir. Such a cute story. This is such a good story to balance that other crazy, unsettling I love you story. Oh my god, that poor dude in the other story, seriously. He needs to go into hiding or something. So what exactly was the fuck up part here? That this post blew up to make us isolated loners even more lonely lamau. Today I fucked up by not drinking coffee and ordered a tall black American. Happened 2 days ago. I don't drink coffee, never required the taste. I've only been to Starbucks to wait for someone getting something. So my wife is working from home now, back-to-back meetings. She asks me to run to Starbucks for her and says she'll text me her order. I get to Starbucks, haven't looked at the text yet. Guy comes on to ask for my order. I grab the phone, pull up the text and read it out loud. Side note, the drive-thru at this Starbucks is narrow and I had to squeeze a full-size truck in there. I was maybe 5 feet from the mic, so I felt I needed to be louder than normal. Me, one tall black American please. Guy, Americano. Me, look at the text, it says American, tall black American. Guy, I'm pretty sure it's Americano or you're at the wrong place. Me, hits me yes, Americano. Can hear the car behind me laughing as I pull away. Apologized at the window, tried to explain that I'm not a coffee guy. One girl working in there couldn't keep a straight face, the other two were doing a good job, but I know they had a good laugh at that. My wife sure did. Says it must have been the autocorrect. Too long didn't read. I didn't know what Americano was and read my wife's order out loud as tall black American. I mean, you said the right thing, just not in Italian. Picking up coffee and a date. When I read the title I was like, how did he fuck up? That's a flavor, right? I don't drink coffee either. Some coffee trivia. Americano is a watered-down espresso. The Italians wanted to make a less bitter drink that appealed to Americans and marketed it as such. During World War II, when the Americans were fighting up through Italy, the US soldiers diluted the espresso so they could drink it. Get the tall blonde next time.